syllabus review for Biology 1406, Biology 1 for science majors. Again, my name is Heather L. Brazier. People call me Dr. B. My office phone is 281-290-2637. Now, if there's any emergency at all that you can't get a hold of me through my regular contact, you can text me at 409-392-5787. Now, my office is in the Center for Science and Innovation, the second floor, room 216. And if you want to see me for office hours, they're immediately following class every day or by appointment. Now, my email is h.l.brazier@lonestar.edu, but I ask you not to contact me through that because so many times it gets sent to spam or I don't get it. So for all contact, get me through D2L because that is going to tell me how many come up and it doesn't get lost and it's only student email. So I check it all the time. Now, this is Biology 1406, Biology 1 for science majors, and this is a pivotal fundamental course for biology. So I ask that you really focus on learning the material that we present this semester because it's going to make all your classes in the future a bit easier. Now, this is a summer 2018 term. The course section is 6001 for lecture, 6002 for lab. The lecture is online. The lab meets Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 2:15 in the CSI room 234. Now, this is a 4-credit hour course, and we have to meet for 96 hours over the term of the semester. So you will be spending on average 8 hours a week for your lecture, and we will be in class for a little over 8 hours a week for lab. Now, it should be 8 hours, but you'll notice that we do 4 hours and 15 minutes or 8.5 because we do miss a day due to the July 4th and 5th holiday. Now, this is going to focus, this is a contemporary course that focuses on mostly the scientific methods, cellular and molecular biology, biochem, some genetics, virology, and evolution, right? And so this tells you exactly what we're going to be doing over the course of the semester, and you can read up on it. Now, there are 2 books that are important for you to obtain. The first is the textbook. So this Campbell's Biology in Focus is the textbook that is for the lecture part. And you need to buy the Mastering Biology course information. The Mastering Biology is the homework program. And so if you buy it online, you can get an online book and you don't actually have to buy a tangible book. Or you can go in the bookstore and they have a loose leaf version of it. Or you can buy maybe a used hardback copy of it and then just buy the homework code, whichever you like. It's completely up to you. If you're only taking Biology 1406 in the bookstore, they'll have it specifically for Biology 1406 and 1408. It's smaller than the bigger one that you can buy online, and it's going to essentially be, it's smaller because it's only going to be for 1406, right? If you're going to take the full year, I always recommend getting the full book, and that'll give you kind of an idea on what you need for the first and second part. But for right now, most people, I would just focus on getting that. When you want to actually sign up for the Mastering Biology, here's information there that can tell you, but you can also go into your D2L course and it gives you explicit directions and the basically course sign-up code that you need. Now let's talk about attendance. You are required to actually be in your lab class twice a week for the full amount of time. If you miss course time, then you're going to miss important points for participation, and it's going to be harder to pass your lab exams. The lecture is a little bit more flexible. You just need to complete your weekly work on time. If you start missing assignments and failing to come to class, it's going to demonstrate poor progress towards attaining the course goals or objectives. and that can be detrimental to your learning. So if you fail to log into D2L and you fail to do well in the course, I may withdraw you. And what I mean by that is I will withdraw you, but I will contact you before I do, right? You're not going to have to worry about, well, is she going to drop me or should I go drop? If you don't get an email from me that says explicitly I'm going to drop you, then I'm not. You have to worry about if I'm going to drop you if I send you an email that says, okay, I'm dropping you. So keep that in mind. Tardy, you're expected to be in class. If you're later than 15 minutes, you're considered absence. And this is for habitual people. If there's something bad that just happens, text me before class starts and let me know that you're running late and the reason why, and then I'll be waiting for you. Now, it's important that you come to class on time because during class, we are essentially, you're going to be turning in lab information for points. So that's why you really need to be there on time. There's no tardy policy for the lecture component. So lecture exams compose of 300 points. Lecture grade is worth 510. So you take 4 lecture exams, but one of them is essentially dropped. Averaging less than 50% on a lecture exam may result from me automatically dropping you. And what that means is I will email you first and tell you, hey, you are scoring low. Let's meet to get you passing. If you never respond back to me, you don't come up with something, then I'm going to send you an email that says I'm going to drop you. But I'm really trying to focus on making you a better student and fixing whatever problem that you have that's making you fail, right? We need to look at what you're doing because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting a different result. So we need to change your activity to get you a different result. And you can look on here, I've subdivided and actually told you what each course exam is going to cover. Mastering biology, there is 14 homeworks. They basically, what they're going to do is you answer them, and each question is going to be worth a certain amount of points. If you get it wrong, you'll get additional turns to answer it correctly and only lose a fraction of the points versus all of them. These are all the different units, and they will be due 11:59 p.m. the night before the unit exam closes. The lowest homework will be dropped. This dynamic study modules, there's 18 dynamic study modules. There's 14 units. There's more than one chapter in some of these units, right? And so essentially these give you how many modules in the different units that we have. They're all graded. Those again will be due 11:59 the night before the unit exam closes. The lowest 2 will be dropped. 140 points, there's 14 labs throughout the course of the semester. They're each worth 10 points. And a small number of the points will come from, or 7.5 points will come from the actual lab, and the rest will come from post-lab assignments you have to turn in. There are 2 lab practicals throughout the semester. Each is worth 100 points, and there's a comprehensive final worth 150. For both your mastering homework, your brief dynamic study modules, your semester exams, and your final exam, the main policy is there are no late assignments that are allowed to be basically turned in, right? You get plenty of time to do them. They're already open now, so be very good on your time management. I will not extend due dates. The semester exams, if you miss a lab practical and you have an emergency and you have documentation of that emergency, I can give you a lab practical later. It has to be within 7 days, and it's going to be a harder lab practical. You get more time to study for it, so keep that in mind. Though I only do that for one exam, so if you miss more than one, there will be a 0 on those, okay? I don't generally do that for the semester exams because unlike the lab practical, where you come in and you take it one day at one time, you have the flexibility of taking the semester exams over several days and the final exam as well. Don't miss the lab experiments because they're only up for 2 days and they get taken down. So if you miss your Tuesday lab experiment, you can only fill in the class later Tuesday if there's an instructor teaching it and they'll let you come in. So keep that in mind, that it's really hard to make up lab experiments. And keep your phones away or in a pocket unless it's for some kind of academic progress. If you have any problems with me, please come talk to me first and let's fix it. If you can't fix it with me, you can talk to Martha Donnelly, the Dean of Math and Science. Just realize that if you contact her, she's not going to not contact me to fix the problem. She's going to come ask me, hey, Heather, what is going on here? I have the student saying this. Is it true? And then I'm going to say my end of the story. And if it's something that we have to talk about, then we're going to come together and she's going to bring you and me together and we're going to talk about it and see if there's a resolution to it. If there's, depending on how that goes, there could be a resolution to it or could not be, depending on what your idea of resolution is, right? And so I'm pretty open and accommodating, and I try to fix issues if there's any kind of problem that you need help with, or if I offend you in some way, I just ask you to come tell me. A lot of times I don't realize that those are the issues going on. But please go see her if you feel like you can't get it fixed with me. This gives you basically how the grades are determined and something really easy for you to go through. Lecture exams are worth 300 points. Total homework is worth 130. The modules are worth 80. Lab assignments 140. Lab practicals 200 points. And the final exam is worth 150. So total together is 1,000 points. If you want an A, you need to score more than 900 points. 800 to 899.999 is a B. You can see with the C, the D, and less than 600 points is an F. Just to let you know, I don't give out grades. I just assign them based on the grade you earned for all the assessments I give you. Don't expect a curve or grades that will be rounded up. Your final grade will reflect an entire semester of work. So make sure you work hard to earn the grade you want at the end of the semester. Now I give a small amount of extra credit. So that's why I also don't raise the grade, because if you do extra credit and you're at the 0.99, if you wouldn't have done the extra credit, you wouldn't have been there. Now, if you're at the 899.99 and you didn't do the extra credit, well, then you didn't do everything you possibly could do to make an A. So that's how I get over. Instead of just giving you 0.5 to round up, I actually give you the opportunity to earn more points than just that. Withdraw by the W day if you don't want it to be reported, and there is a 6-drop rule after which you will end up paying out-of-state tuition, so make sure that you are not dropping a lot of courses. If you have any problems with counseling or tutoring or need any kind of assistance for learning difficulties, make sure to contact the information in here. There's both all kinds of tutoring, the hotspot, there's the writing center, and there's tutors in the library. I'm really big about not cheating and having academic integrity, so please make sure that you are following through and doing your own work. Do not plagiarize, copy and paste. Do not have anybody else do your homework, and do not copy from someone else. I can impose additional class requirements, give you a 0 for the examiner assignment that you've plagiarized or cheated on. I can actually give you an F for the entire course for just plagiarizing one assignment. You can be withdrawn from a course or the program if this goes any further, or you can be expelled from the college. So make sure not to do that. Make sure to behave in an upright fashion, right? Turn off all electronics unless they're there for your academic progress. If I see you texting in the back or playing on your phone or your computer, not doing what you need to do, I'm going to warn you. I'll let you stay in class for the first time. Then anytime after that, I'm just going to ask you to leave and you're going to get a 0 for that day. I don't care if you don't want to pay attention. You're an adult, you make that decision. But if you're distracting the people around you that have made the decision to actually work hard in the class, I have to protect them from you. So keep that in mind. And no electronics out during your exams. I say only use your laptops to work on assignments. Don't use them to take any kind of notes or to watch anything on there. I had a student watching ballet before. It distracted everybody around them. That's how I found out about it. Nobody can come in class with you but you due to safety reasons, so no friends, spouses, or children. If you're disruptive, you're being mean to other people, you're disrespectful, rude, confrontational, you have any kind of inappropriate conduct as perceived by me, I will remove you from the class. We will talk to the coordinator before I allow you back in, or depending on how bad it is, I may just have them automatically withdraw you. So we wanted to have a nice, beautiful environment that everybody can learn and feel respected and not feel kind of that agony to come to class. So we need to do whatever we can to make sure that that's the case, and I will not allow anybody to disturb that or disrupt that. If I do anything at any time to offend you, please let me know. And if I don't know, then I can't fix it. So just come talk to me. If you're 504, you have any kind of disability, you need to get the appropriate paperwork in and talk to the appropriate people and then send me that paperwork. The rest of this on campus security, equal opportunity, you can read through that as a standard protocol. FERPA, don't have anybody in your family call me to ask about your grades. I'll only report grades to you. And this is the tentative syllabus. So how this works is we don't have class on Monday. So these are the things you should work on Monday. We're going to come in class on Tuesday, and these are what you need to work on Tuesday. On Wednesday, again, you'll be working at home on lab stuff, and then you have on the lab information is due on, these are what we're going to be doing on Thursday. Now realize that you'll have post-lab. Once we finish this lab here, there's going to be stuff due on that Thursday for post-lab stuff from those labs. The first exam is opening on June 7th. That's Thursday. You can either take it in a testing center or you can take it at home. If you take it at home, you need a lockdown browser and a webcam, and I'll talk about more of that in the week to come. This will be due on that Monday at 11:59, and then of course your next set of materials opened. And so this basically tells you how everything's working. Now on top of that, if you look in the parentheses, those are the chapters, or it could be the chapters and pages specifically that are going to be covered. And these tell you the experiments or the parts of the lab manual that you'll need to bring in. So, yeah. And so on here, if you notice, this very first test closes on the 11th. So all of this is due that Sunday at 11:59, the day before it closes. So if you look on here, it's due the 18th. So all of this is going to be due June 17th. So keep that in mind as you go through. If you have any questions about what is due, just let me know. Other than this, have a great afternoon, guys, and I'll see you soon.